Good morning, and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home. It is going to be a hot day here in August in my Zone 6 New England garden. However, the garden is just looking so beautiful, so lush. And because it has been raining steadily, it is very plush, I think. The leaves are full, and the flowers are huge because they're getting what they love, heat, and they're also getting light, and they're getting water. I do love the morning. I love seeing the sunlight come in and just light up the garden. What a wonderful place to be. I'm really pleased with how the kale has been growing here on this ledge in the front garden with the caladiums. I also have been able to harvest a lot of the courgettes here with these plants, but also the peppers are coming in. So now I have a lot of green peppers, and I am going to be harvesting them in a little while because soon they will really be multiplying. But we've been enjoying them in our meals. Beautiful green peppers, sweet pepper. But what has really made this a special location is the fact that here amongst the curly kale are also the beautiful caladiums. And I will definitely be doing this again. But these curly kales are ready for the eating. Yes, and I have been eating them, but now because of the abundance, this yellow, that white butterfly, it would then lay eggs on it, so I'm glad that I caught it before it did or has. But yes, these beautiful caladiums are here, and I do need to harvest this kale, curly kale, and eat it. And I'm going to harvest it for dinner today, sauteed in butter and with some salt and sugar, not sugar, but salt and pepper, I mean to say. This kale is just delicious, and I'm really impressed with how it is just growing here. And these were from seed. Using my Dollar Tree seeds, I was able to plant and grow these beautiful kale plants. There are quite a few here, and like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's here and it's growing and it's beautiful amongst the peppers. the other thing that is really exciting is that since I've been able to clear out this area, now it's starting to full out, and the petunias have enough space to actually spread out with the caladiums. But we're talking about food here. So here I also have lined up some more of the green peppers that I planted earlier, and they are loving it here and starting to really produce. It's just really pretty, I think, to have the caladiums, the begonias, the petunias, and also with the beautiful shrubs of the peppers, these pepper plants. To me, they're coming into nice little shrubbery, bearing such beautiful fruit of peppers. Isn't that nice? And then I also have here the banana peppers, this different type here. What has been quite an amazing thing is that the beets have been growing here, so I need somehow to plant some more beet seeds here so that they can grow out. I've already had one beet from here, and it was so delicious, enjoyable, and very tasty. And check out this pepper. It's really nice to be able to add to this front garden the beauty of the flowers, but also to allow this area to now fruit and give food, and provide a harvest of food, as well as the fact that it's giving me a lot of beauty too as well. Over in this section here, the nasturtiums have found their place and adding a lot of color to this side of the garden or the front yard. But I was able to provide for these peppers a little trellis, a little support. And so now they are really fruiting up here. And there are a lot of peppers here growing. And I like the fact that they're upright so that they're not on the ground, and I'll be able to eat them. These nasturtiums are actually volunteer plants. I didn't plant them this year. I actually planted them, I think, last year or the year before, and the seeds were in the ground, and they naturally grew on their own. So that's nice. Hopefully it'll continue to do that, and each year it will come up on its own, these beautiful nasturtium plants and flowers. Now this has been my zucchini patch, and it has been producing steadily. All of those beautiful large zucchinis came from this area, and it's still fruiting, which is great, but it is suffering from severe powdery mildew. And I've been coming in and removing these branches, these powdery mildew branches, so that the plant can continue to produce. So it looks like I'm going to have to do that some more, or continue to do that. But I can see here some fruit coming up, which is good. But I cannot complain, because a lot of the courgettes, the zucchini that we have been eating in our soups and chicken stew has come from this plant. And I've been able to give some away to my son and his family, and so that has been a true blessing. But yes, this is the time to harvest our fruits and veggies, and to really appreciate this part of the gardening season, where it's not just about the flowers, but it's also about the vegetables. I am so pleased with this beautiful garden area, this side garden where we cut down the tree and now we have a lot of sun, and so we can accommodate the sun-loving plants. And now I am just so blessed with my hibiscus flower coming out and blooming. I love this. This is so beautiful, this one here. I think that I'm going to have to come in though and remove some of these other plants that have been resting on them so that we can get the full beauty. But if you notice at the top here, right there are a lot of buds and blooms, so it's possible that this can go on for a couple of weeks, the budding and flowering of my hibiscus plant. The bee balm, what was that? Oh, it was a butterfly. Is just about finished here, and I think I will come and cut it back. But the bees are still loving it. One of the things that I want to draw to your attention is the squash plants and vines that are moving throughout this garden. They are gaining a lot of powdery mildew, so I am going to come in and remove some of these leaves, and it will also give the garden a chance to breathe a little bit more. But I think that this is just a beautiful scene. I couldn't be more happier with what has happened here and how this garden area is now being productive, because it's providing me with winter squash, but also with such beauty for this time and season. And then you can look down into the garden and see all of the beauty there too, that is all the way down by the wonderful impatiens and those yellow flowers. So it is over here in the herbal tea garden area, which is looking so beautiful, that I harvested the cabbage. And right here I have one more, but it's not as big as the other one, so I'm gonna let it stay. And I have another one here. This one looks a little bit, no, it's still working on it, but that other one is definitely ready. So I have these two, and I did a fourth cabbage, but it's got smothered by these other things. So I'm going to leave it in the ground, and they are cold weather crops, so they'll be able to continue to develop. Then I have here my kale, which is doing well, and other plants. They're doing very well here. My corn, I put that together. And the beans, I wanted you to see the beans. Remember the beans that string beans that I planted? Well, they are coming up now. And with this heat, we're supposed to have 90-degree temperatures here. They are definitely going to grow and come up. And I will have string beans. Yes. And the corn is still doing very well. It's developing here. Yeah, so the garden is doing really well. I just wanted you to see where I harvested that cabbage, from right in here, tucked in amongst the marigolds, just like these two. By the way, my lavender is also flowering, and everything's just doing really well. But all of that is for another video of intense looking at and seeing what's happening. Anyway, everything is changing so rapidly in the garden. I gathered these tomatoes here. I went through and cut off the leaves, the yellowing leaves. I didn't get, there's always so many. There's still some more to remove here. But I went in and kind of trimmed them up so that it'll have better airflow. And the tomatoes are just looking fantastic. I was able to harvest a lot. Now, while this is still here, I'm going to show you my 2 little plums from this plum tree. 1, 2. The bugs, the aphids, really attacked my plum tree, and so I'm not going to get a lot of plums this year. Those 2, which I'm fortunate, and hopefully the squirrels won't find them before me. Yeah. So I was able to trim up these tomatoes, and they're doing very well here, as well as the corn, and then some other tomatoes back here, the same tomatoes, the grape tomatoes. I was able to trim them up. But there's also something I want to show you that's really special. Look at what I discovered here. A buddleia plant. Now, this buddleia plant is from a cutting that I had. Okay, come back and you can get some tomatoes. You see my cabbage that I have there? So I harvested the cabbage that was over in the area by the herbal tea garden, and as you can see, it did get some holes here. Some critters tried to eat it, but overall it's a hard cabbage. It's a good head here of cabbage, and it has been very wet, so I'm glad that I caught it before it would be sitting in the water. But just looking at it, it looks really, really nice. I'm so happy to have this head of cabbage from my garden. There are 2 more cabbages there. I think they're in a better location. They're less overwhelmed by the different things, so I think they can stay there maybe for a day or 2 more. But yeah, this is my first harvest of the cabbage from my garden. Yay! I also harvested this squash. I think it's an acorn squash. I got it with the burpee seeds. They just said winter squash, and they had all of these different types of seeds there. And this is what it produced here. Nice. So I have also some tomatoes that I'm going to gather as well. For more videos, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time right here in Catherine's Garden. Bye.